I think it's really important to be involved in not only cable, but quite a few of the other groups, like the Canadian Bar subsections. In the end, they really give you confidence. They give you a group of people that you could get in touch with when you have problems. It's just a good backup. I think it's really, in the case of cable, you have a lot of people with the same, who have experiencing the same difficulties. And it's really nice to be able to sit down and jointly decide how you're going to deal with some of these problems. Things have improved considerably since the 70s. We now have Blacks being employed by some of the biggest law firms in the country. That never happened before. But still, we have to do a lot more to be able to make members of the Black community feel very comfortable in the profession they choose. In this case, law.
We've always had here in British Columbia and BC mentorship programs. They've either been at firms that you're practicing at, or through the Canadian Bar Association, or forums that come out of that. But whenever I've kind of personally myself sought out that, I always felt that the people who were listening still didn't get a piece of a component of the conversation I was having with them. And so the opportunity to be that sounding board, to create safe spaces for other young lawyers of color, but young lawyers of Black color particularly, to be able to know that they could pick up the phone and have that conversation, let go, vent if they need to, in a place where they knew it wasn't going to affect their livelihood, their being kept on, not being kept on, assigned files and all that. I thought it was critically important.
So it is a personal thing for me. It's not just a professional thing. And, having that ability to do that is really important. I've noticed that there's now a formal mentorship program being created out here in Vancouver, and I'm very excited to be part of that. But at the end of the day, it really is about being able to share anything that I might be able to bring to the table to make my colleagues in the profession more successful.
For me, it's been, this career can be isolating. You can feel like you can be one of the only or one of a few in many of the spaces that you operate in, and you kind of need to navigate it. Someone has to hold your hand. What I say a lot is, law is an apprenticeship by a professional, and somebody has to take you and teach you how to become a lawyer. And for a long time, in the spaces that I was in, anyways, at the big corporate firms, I met great people that were willing to teach me, but they didn't share my experience all the time. They weren't African, they weren't Black, they weren't operating the same, they didn't face some of the same issues that I had to deal with. And so places like CABL and CABL events gave me that place to go to, so a place to go and relate to people and kind of take out the armor you put on sometimes and be vulnerable, and to meet people that are like you and understand and speak about your challenges. For me, that is what CABL offers. Specifically in BC, that's the case everywhere in Canada, but in BC, sometimes it can be more of the case, right? Because when I was starting out, I remember coming back to BC in 2011 and looking for a lawyer. I was working at a big corporate firm, a Black one, and there wasn't any. Thankfully, I left and came back in 2020. Last year, 2021. And I see a lot more faces, and that's a good thing. But at the time, I was by myself, and CABL was really the only refuge I could find where I could fully be myself as a Black lawyer.